honest, these verses are far more difficult to live than they are to quote. Listen carefully to what Solomon writes. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. Ladies and gentlemen, I will submit to you that if we truly live these 3 verses every day, they will completely transform our lives. Notice that Solomon gives us 3 commands and 1 promise. The commands are, trust in the Lord, do not lean on your own understanding, acknowledge him in all your ways. And the promise is this: he shall direct thy paths. Now let's begin with the first command. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Notice what Solomon does not say. He does not say trust in your circumstances. He does not say trust in your bank account. He does not say trust in your emotions. And he certainly does not say trust in yourself. He says trust in the Lord. And perhaps that is why this verse is so difficult. Because trusting God is easy when life is going according to plan. It's easy to trust God when the bills are paid. It's easy to trust God when family is healthy. It's easy to trust God when prayers are being answered. But Proverbs chapter 3 was not written for the easy seasons of life. It was written for the difficult ones. It was written for the person who has prayed for years and is still waiting, for the person who has experienced loss, for the person lying awake at 2 o'clock in the morning wondering what tomorrow will bring. Because anyone can trust God when life makes sense. Faith begins when life no longer does. Have you ever noticed that some of God's greatest servants spent years waiting? Abraham waited decades for the promised son. Joseph spent years as a slave and a prisoner before becoming ruler in Egypt. David was anointed king long before he ever sat upon the throne. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before God called him to lead Israel. And yet, in every one of those stories, God proved faithful. Not early, not late, right on time. Perhaps you're watching this today and you're in a season of waiting. If so, Proverbs chapter 3 reminds us that God's delays are not God's denials. The verse continues, and lean not unto thine own understanding. I find it interesting that Solomon doesn't simply tell us what to do. He also tells us what not to do. Why? Because this is our natural tendency. We want to understand everything. We ask questions like,